Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So since the first round is taking a little bit, we'll be heading into a conclusion of one more game. It is going to be lumpas or lumpas, but I know it's pronounced lumpas because he's from Czech Republic. Versus maGe or maGe. I know maGe has been scouted in one of the dream hacks, I think, or was it not him? I'm not entirely sure, but
So I've never seen the ID before, so like I haven't seen the ID where I've remembered it, so I don't think he's gotten really that far in tournaments. But I could be wrong. You know, there's a lot of dream hacks, a lot of other tournaments, but I could be wrong indeed. And okay, I was gonna say he's late on his pylon. There it is. Does get dropped, and that's a very interesting pylon placement.
wow, it's really close to where the Nexus should be.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he might wall in with the Nexus, but I
Yeah.
don't think so. Like, it's further back, so maybe if like a 6-pull came, you can get a forge placement by the ramp and have a really tight placement. But of course, it's not the biggest deal because you always add in a second pylon anyway next to the wall at the bottom. So it's not the biggest thing, but yeah, you rarely see that. Normally, you want the pylon to cover from the ramp directly to the other side, so that way you can wall off if some sort of 10-pull or 9-pull hits you. But that was not the case, so just a little curious. Alright, so we should have a pool getting dropped super soon.
Yeah, we should. The Zerg is at 15 supply, and there is not a drone down at the natural. There we go, we have the pool.
A little bit late, but that's fine. That works out better for the Protoss. We do have a forge now being built, so he is playing this the safer way. Of course, for those who don't know, if you go for a forge first, you can pylon block your opponent to stop the natural. If you go for a Nexus first, you cannot, because you cannot.
Yeah.
You can't afford to get the forge down, and the timings don't work out. Whereas certain forges
Yeah,
come
basically what can happen at that point, especially if your opponent is going for a pool first and then a hatch, is if you want to go Nexus first. By the way, nice job here by maGe blocking the natural. Lumpas had to bring 2 drones down, and now the hatch goes down. So what happens is, if you're going Nexus first, you don't really want to pylon block your opponent's natural, because you need the minerals as freakishly possible for the forge, because if you don't build a forge on time, and that's just the difference in seconds, I'm not kidding, what your opponent can do, he can let the pylon finish, and then he will just make 4 to 6 Zerglings and send them straight away to your natural, or even to your main. And he knows he's got damage guaranteed because the cannons will not be up, the wall will not be up in time, and he can just kill the pylon at his natural later on while he's taking a third here. So
well, most of the time they'll actually just kill the cannon, and once you kill the cannon, then you're in a really tough spot because they can kill the pylon, they can stop your any extra cannons being added on, they can stop the gateway being powered. Of course, you need that for the zealot. So you just like. Any type of advantage you would earn from pylon blocking is totally lost by that, because then you even if you went for the pylon block, you'd have to completely wall off to be completely safe. So it's just not worth it because you lose the advantage that you do earn. So far we do have the third base getting dropped. That is cool. Wall off is nearly complete. The gases should be mined. There we are. He has 2 on each again, like the last daybreak game we saw. So this is a lot more common. It's really interesting. But the big...
Oh, he finds the probe hidden in the smoke. That was a really nice move by Lumpas there. That way he can protect himself versus any kind of gateway timings. We do have the first Zod coming out in while the core is well underway. Now I wonder, what is the order of gas spending going to be for the Protoss? Will he go for Stalker first? Will he go for gateway as fast as possible? Will he go for a mothership core? And, well, it looks like gateway followed by a +1, that's 200 gas, and he still has 100. So
I just get to know he hasn't built anything in terms of a stalker, which is either going to be a stalker or a mothership core.
Yeah.
'Cause you can go for a sentry, but these days Protosses are like, oh, okay, I can just run across the map with a stalker and kill a couple.
It is going to be a Stargate.
Ooh.
I just saw the gas pile up. I'm like, it's approaching 150. Should be something. for the time being, maGe is just controlling the watchtower with the one lonely zealot. Let's look how the economy for both of these players is doing. 36 drones versus 35 probes, so not really a huge advantage for Lumpas. But as he puts down the Roach Warren, he knows that he has a third base and the Protoss does not. So in a couple more rounds of drones, he's going to be pretty good. And we do see additional gates going. Wow, a lot of additional gates going down for maGe, bringing us to 5 total.
We have 5 total. There is no extra gases being taken, so he's going to be very gassed off. I'm guessing it's going to be Void Rays, because you're not going to have enough gas really to produce Phoenixes. You're going to be super tight. He's going to be super tight to produce just Void Rays off this. That's why there's no Stalker or anything in production. And of course, because there's no Stalker, this Overlord has seen everything. But a big thing to note is because the Zealot run to the Watchtower and had the vision, that a probe managed to get past. And as we can see, there are 2 proxy pylons on the Zerg side of the map, but the probe's still there. So I think it's going to be some sort of like plus 1 5-gate Void Ray Zealot all in. That's what it's looking like, because he's not going to have enough gas to really produce anything else. Warp Gate is now finishing. The pylons are here. There is a proxy being moved closer to the 3rd. This has been scouted so far, so we do have roaches being produced, and even spores added into the mix to protect against this this Void Ray. So this could be really interesting. We are up to 6 gates as well.
Yeah, this is a type of all-in that was really popular even during the Wings of Liberty era. A lot of players have been doing this. Now the Void Ray has to be careful. That's the backbone of this push, and it narrowly survives. You know, the thing is, you use the Zealots to kill the Queens and the Spores, and the Void Rays take care of everything else. But so far, there's just too few Zealots and too many Roaches, and the Queen and the Spore are still alive. That Void Ray has to be mighty careful not to get in range, and it does, and it goes down.
Goes down. The second one is soon incoming. Behind this, there were a few extra drones being moved, and for a second, the Zerg was supply blocked. Void Ray flying back into the Spore, it can't do that. Spores do, of course, do a lot of extra damage. More Zealots being moved in. And, like you said, this is quite an old build, but it was normally a pressure build. This is an all-in. Yeah. Which is really interesting. The Protoss has to be careful. He doesn't have that many weapons left. He only has 7 supply before he's capped. And be very careful. There is a lot of Zerglings, drones, and Roaches trying to fight this off. And with the extra Roaches incoming, here we are. They do pop. And Roaches, of course, do a very good job against Zealots. They have the +1, but Roaches, with the creep speed, they will be able to kite this. But some good damage is coming from the Protoss player.
Yeah, he has killed 19-20 workers so far. That Spore Crawler repositioned. The Void Ray is forced to go back, but more are on the way. Another one joining the fight here very shortly. Another one will be popping out of the Stargate in a moment here. The fight is still ongoing. The supplies are surprisingly very even. And as long as maGe keeps these Void Rays alive and well away from the Spore Crawlers, he can continue to do damage with this. But I like the positioning of and constant repositioning of the Spore Crawlers rather by Lumpas. He always engaged in such a manner that the Void Rays could not really participate in the battle and take care of the Roaches, because they would have to go through the Spore Crawlers line of fire. And now maGe realizes this, so he goes around, he swings around, and he's like, okay, you're not gonna have enough defenses over here, and that may very well be true.
There we are, the charge gets stopped. Just go for the Spore Crawler. He's taking damage from it. He could have vaporized the Spore Crawler by now. Okay, he targets it down with some Zealots, realizing that is a weakness. Transfuse gets dropped, but it does get taken out either way. The Queen wants to join the fight, targeting down the hurt one, but will it? Okay, it gets vaporized thanks to the Zealots taking out. More Spores are being added in. I think actually maGe is going to take this. So much damage is being dealt. The supplies now in his favor. More Zealots coming in to reinforce, and there is pylons being made super close as well to get the reinforcements going. Roaches getting killed, and the Roach Warren just gets snagged, which is a big deal, because now, of course, we can only have Zealots to Zerglings to defend. And there are 14 Zealots right now in the natural.
Now the thing is that the third base is still up, and has been for the majority, or for this entire time. So I think Lumpas made a lot of... He skipped a lot of injects, basically, because he should have had a lot more Roaches out by this time, and could have potentially held off this attack, but maGe was just relentless, always pressuring all the time. Takes the series 2.